Awkward for a lot of peace of mind. Authorised by the New South Wales Government, Sydney.
Dinosaur Train.
Only Dinosaur Train gives you extreme interaction. Old Spinosaurus, he tracks, he eats and then poops. Or Burrus with big chopping action and even bigger roar. Or Arnie who walks, stomps, and you command the action. All talk and sing. And all interact with other Dinosaur Train friends. Extreme interaction starts with Dinosaur Train, each sold separately.
Let Blooms the Chemist take the worry out of managing your medication with our free blister pack service. A simple, convenient reminder to take your medication in the right way at the right time.
Our free service is just one of the ways we're putting real value back into healthcare.
Citroën Aircross, one of the best valued SUVs on the market. European design, loaded with features, Bluetooth, 18-inch alloy wheels, auto lights and wipers, 7 airbags and reverse camera from $29,990 drive away. Call in to Corbin Citroën Wollongong.
In this election year, you can trust the WIN News Hour to keep you informed. With more local news services in more electorates than any other broadcaster, locally and nationally, for the most comprehensive election coverage leading up to September 14. Turn to the WIN News Hour every weeknight from 6.
I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Go, Brownie. Into it, Brownie. Come on, Brownie.
You have a beautiful soul.
Campbell Brown on his way out.
He wasn't intimidated by me, was he, Gary?
Oh, hello.
You know what? You blokes turned me into a flog.
What's that, mate?
You blokes turned me into a flog.
I think it was there all along.
We didn't have to turn you into
What do you got for him?
This is a baggy blue, of course. 147 panellists. He's been on 15 shows.
But if it comes into his own at the end of the year around grand final time, as Matthew Lloyd tweeted in.
Yeah, Matty Lloyd tweeted in. He loves his breezers and he cops a lot of flack for that. What's your drink of choice?
Orange Bacardi Breezer.
Orange Bacardi Breezer.
The tough man.
Beautiful drink.
Mate, Brownie, that's just...
You're not playing this weekend, Brownie. What, you got the weekend off? You're down here for the weekend? You going to watch some local footy or what?
No, I've got to fly back tomorrow. Yeah, so we train over the weekend. We've had a few days off, but looking forward to getting back into it.
Well, we appreciate you coming in.
Sorry.
As we do, hang on, to Nicky Dowell, who's playing 250 on the weekend. Thanks, guys. You'd be happy to know that Sam Newman, Bill, we've allocated Sam St Kilda v Melbourne to do for the Sunday Footy Show.
No. Make sure you watch that.
This is indulgence, in-house. This is for Dusty's daughter, Kayla. We wish Dusty well, and this is for you, Kayla, darling.
Good on you. Well done.
Well done, Sam.
While we're doing some business very quickly, Gary, if you want to help out with Shane's unbelievable tour de Crawl for any NAB branch, Baker's Delight in the Southern States, bcna.org.au. Please donate to this unbelievably worthy cause.
Very good, and well done to Sammy and to you, Jim. Also to Bill. Don't forget, next Wednesday night, the Footy Show following State of Origin. We'll see you then. Good night.
Hamish and Andy are going on another gap year. And this time, it's Asia's turn.
I love you, Rocket Fast!
Go, go, go! Lee off the mark quickly. He'll be happy with that start.
Yeah! Oh, I got it, yes!
I'm Superman, baby.
Oh, my
And now, a sneak peek from rural Thailand.
We're at the Bun Bang Phay Rocket Festival, where locals fire rockets into the sky to wake up the rain gods. And safety was a concern.
Oh, it's going sideways. That's going to land on cars. That's going to land on people, that one. That's coming down on people. That was
people?
We never know. We always have to watch our head.
But we were there to help launch a 100-kilogram homemade mega rocket, only 700 metres from the CBD.
I reckon she's good to go.
With that trustworthy tick of approval, we carried the massive mega rocket towards the state-of-the-art launch pad.
Let's get this big baby in the sky!
And safely hoisted it into position.
Stop, everyone, stop. It's best to be safe.
Safer ground was reached and the rocket was ready.
Fly for me, Big Blue.
We were moments away from takeoff. This was going to be the greatest thing we had ever seen at a Thai rocket festival.
Dear God, it's 6:30. Now wake up and make it rain.
3, 2, 1, boom time.
Spun out.
Make it rain!
But nothing happened until...
Is he lighting it like that? What's this guy doing? A cowboy. Oh, he's lighting it by his hand.
Join Hamish and Andy on their gap year to Asia on WIN.
I am too old to waste calories on a lacklustre bake.
There's an orchard in my mouth.
There's no flavour.
There's a wow in those spices.
Bland.
Will world-renowned bake-off judges Kerry Vincent and Dan Leppard ever see eye to pie?
That's really good.
Oh, God, we're agreed.
The Great Australian Bake-Off, coming soon to WIN.
The WIN network has got Australia covered. Our transmitters span the largest geographical broadcast area in the Southern Hemisphere, entertaining an area larger than Europe. The WIN network reaches more viewers in more cities, towns and electorates than any other Aussie broadcaster, providing digital free-to-air television to over 9 million viewers. The WIN network, entertaining Australia. This is WIN News.
Tonight, the Macquarie River pipeline for Orange gets the green light. Police investigate a violent assault in Wagga's Main Street. And the plan to deliver thousands of homes and jobs in the Wollondilly Shire. Good evening, I'm Melissa Jaros with the top stories from across the state. The controversial pipeline project, which will give Orange water security for decades to come, has given the green light by the Planning Assessment Commission. The final hurdle is federal approval, but with the Commonwealth already committing $20 million to the scheme, opponents believe it's a done deal.
Orange Mayor John Davis is tonight a happy man.
Well, I think it's a great step forward. It's very, very positive.
Gaining approval for a pipeline to pump water from the Macquarie River to the landlocked city of 40,000 residents has dragged out for years, with many against the scheme citing environmental concerns, especially at the site where water will be extracted. The environmental assessment process has also been heavily criticised. Despite that ongoing criticism, Mayor Davis says the democratic process of checks and balances has to be respected.
And we've only ever wanted, from my point of view as the mayor and also as a council, we've only ever wanted it to be judged on its merits.
He says that same democracy in action has worked for the opponents, with major concessions to the environment made as the debate about the project raged to and fro.
We couldn't pump unless there was about 38 megalitres of flow on a daily basis. That figure's now 108, I believe. There's 20 pages of regulations and rules of operation.
None of the pipeline opponents contacted by WIN News were available for an on-camera interview today, but there's a deep sense of disappointment at the decision, with many believing the process was weighted heavily against environmental concerns. John Ryan, WIN News.
The extent of injuries to a 23-year-old Wagga man are not yet known after a serious assault early this morning.
A vicious late-night assault that's left a 23-year-old man in a Sydney hospital with serious head injuries.
We've seen incidents all over the country similar to this, and we've seen other instances in the past here in Wagga where just a stupid act of violence and drunken violence ends in somebody either being killed or having the rest of their life affected by an injury that they've sustained.
Just after midnight, two men allegedly became involved in a verbal dispute at this takeaway store when it turned physical. Police say the victim was punched to the face, causing him to fall to the ground, hitting his head on the pavement.
We believe there's a fracture somewhere at the base of his skull, But the extent of any brain injury, it's a bit early days yet to tell whether in fact he has any brain injury.
The offender ran to the Station Place taxi rank along with 2 other males. Police have released this description. A man aged in his mid-20s, of Caucasian appearance, around 180 centimetres tall, with untidy light brown hair, wearing a dark-coloured beanie, white jumper and dark pants. Police say if CCTV was installed in the main street, there is no doubt it would have helped in this instance. However, it is possible nearby businesses may have captured the offender on their own private surveillance.
It's really angered us, it frustrates us that we see these types of incidents happen, and that's why we're taking this incident so seriously.
Anyone with information should call Wagga Police or Crime Stoppers. Sarah Bunnell, WIN News.
There's been a major step forward for a highly anticipated plan to deliver up to 12,000 homes and 11,000 jobs in Wilton. The state government has now begun investigations into the proposed Wilton Junction, with plans for the new town casting doubt over a second airport in the Wollondilly Shire Council.
1,900 hectares with immense potential.
It's going to be great for Wollondilly and great for jobs and great for housing.
The proposal for Wilton Junction followed the state government's calls for landowners to nominate potential sites to address Sydney's housing supply shortfall. The population of Wollondilly is also set to balloon over the next 30 years, making this a desirable option.
We don't want to ruin this area. It's a beautiful area and I like to think it's one of the best in Australia and we want to keep it that way.
The state government has now begun investigations into the proposal, which has the potential to deliver thousands of new homes, jobs and other infrastructure over 30 years.
The major development probably will be the major shopping centre, or probably likening it to MacArthur's shopping centre. That's how big it's going to grow.
The draft master plan is being proposed by 3 landowners in collaboration with Lendlease.
A very rare event for 4 major landowners to come together and work cooperatively with state agencies, with council and with the community to drive a vision for a new town.
The landowners now have to outline what infrastructure will be required, as well as detailed information into air and water quality, roads and transport, biodiversity and Aboriginal heritage. Those studies are already underway. Another point to consider is the possible impact on any plans for a second airport in Wilton. At least one of the federal government's proposed sites for the airport could overlap with Wilton Junction.
There is a possibility it can coexist, but I think politically it won't happen.
There won't be any airport at Wilton. I've said that from day one.
Brina Barrett, WIN News.
Despite the state government's announcement to extend the first home buyers grant for a further 2 years, real estate agents in the Central West say the grant doesn't go far enough.
There is welcome relief when it comes to buying your first home. Thanks to the state government's 2-year extension of the first home buyers grant, locals can now take their time finding their dream property.
I think people have got more time now, and also they can still buy a block of land and build a home, a new home, get their $15,000 first home buyers grant and pay no stamp duty on the block of land as well.
The grant has now been extended to January 2016. For many people throughout the Central West, the grant has enabled them to enter into the real estate market when they would otherwise be unable to. But local real estate agents say it's somewhat limiting, given that it's reserved for new homes only.
I personally would have liked to have seen something for pre-loved houses, if you can call it that, because there's a lot of people we show houses to and they can't afford a new home, like a brand new home, so they want to purchase something that's someone has lived in before.
But for those wanting to make use of the grant in Orange, they're spoilt for choice when it comes to finding a block of land. With new estates under development off Carney's Drive and North Orange, it's now just a matter of narrowing down the options. Emily Brotherton, WIN News.
West Deakin Bowls Club in the ACT looks like it will fold, displacing more than 200 members. The president says for many players, bowls gives them a focus in life and keeps them out of the health system.
Tomorrow, these greens will be full, but they could soon be gone. The long-term future looks grim.
Our concern is that we will be the third club now in the Old South that will be closing.
West Deakin Bowls Club was taken over by the Hellenic Club in 2000. The current lease ends in 2015 and the owners have indicated plans to sell the land.
Well, I guess it's
the end of that club as we know it. The axe has fallen. For some time now we've known that the Hellenic Club didn't intend keeping on its relationship with the club.
Deja vu for members of Southern Cross and South Canberra who came to West Deakin when their clubs folded. Members say the role of community bowls clubs can't be underestimated.
What we're worried about is our community we have amongst the bowlers. They come in, they see each other, they support each other. At our time of life, it's a great get-together and fellowship.
The fact is that it costs a lot of money to run a bowls club, and it costs more than the members can contribute through their membership fees and even fundraising.
Treasurer Andrew Barr told WIN News the sustainability of the traditional model is in question. In a statement, he said the government would support a bowls ACT investigation into the current provision of facilities. Meanwhile, the nearest club for West Deakin's 200+ members is at Forest.
Several years ago they had financial troubles and had to sell part of their site, so they've revamped now and they're down to 2 greens and very, very little parking. So very difficult for a big influx of members to go there.
I think it is a done deal. I think that it would take some sort of miracle to change the circumstances, but let's just hope that those players can find some comfort elsewhere.
Lauren Barker, WIN News.
Coming up next on WIN News, Kiama locals rallying to help one of their own.
Even though you've been raised as a human being, you are not one of them.
Before you see the Man of Steel, catch the epic blockbuster. Brandon Routh, Kate Bosworth and Kevin Spacey. Superman returns Saturday, 8:30 on WIN.
For 25 years, Light and Easy has been making it easy for Australians to eat well and lose weight. Today, our proven recipe for success still calls for the perfect blend of passionate chefs, experienced dietitians, and wholesome, fresh ingredients. Add the convenience of home delivery and you get effortless results and tasty meals everyone will love. To enjoy delicious food and a simpler, healthier lifestyle, order your favourite selections now at lightandeasy.com.au.
Hi, I'm James Reeson from Alive and Cooking. Autumn is a season of variety, and to help make sure you're ready, I've put together a selection of recipes to celebrate the change from the long, hot summer afternoons to the cool chill of winter. There's plenty of easy-to-prepare meals to complement the changing season, and I've even popped in a bonus disc with some of my favourite soups. Order online at aliveandcooking.com.au or free call 1800 597 996.
At IGA, we know what you like.
Local produce.
Specials. More savings.
Nescafe coffee, $8.99 each. And cup of soup 2-serve or green seas tuna, 99 cents each. IGA, how the locals like it. Introducing the new Fujitsu Lifebook range. Slimline design with remarkably light and stylish magnesium casing, powered by the latest Intel processors, including the V Pro series. For business, a Fujitsu Lifebook is the ultimate in mobility and security, with selected models featuring an integrated fingerprint sensor, anti-glare frameless display, and unlimited connectivity. The Fujitsu Ultrabook, inspired by Intel, built for mobility, style, performance. See the range in selected Harvey Norman stores now.
Go, Harvey, go! For 25 years, Light and Easy has been making it easy for Australians to eat well and lose weight. To find out how simple it really is, call us on 13 15 12 or visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
A man has been charged after he allegedly set fire to a house in Dapto twice. Yesterday morning, a small fire broke out underneath a home in Fowlers Road and caused minor damage. Later that afternoon, a woman and man were inside the house when they heard a loud bang and saw flames coming from the back of the home. Emergency crews were called and extinguished the blaze. The police dog unit then carried out a search of the area, finding a 50-year-old man nearby. He was arrested and later charged with 2 counts of damaged property by fire. The Kiama community is rallying to give a brave little battler the chance to walk on his own. 2-year-old Dexter Heffernan has been diagnosed with cerebral palsy, brain damage and vision impairment. His family is struggling to raise funds for special equipment so one day he can move around freely.
2-year-old Dexter Heffernan is a brave little battler.
When he was first diagnosed, we weren't actually ever told whether he'd be able to walk or whether he'd be able to do anything. It was left very open.
It's a major feat for Dexter to be standing up alone. He struggles to hold his own weight, play with toys and interact with his little sister. At 2 months old, he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, losing mobility and eyesight. But it was the news that followed that rocked his family to the core.
Just a year ago now, actually, that we sort of started to go through all of that. He had a total of 6 rounds of chemo and surgery to remove the tumour, and we got given the all clear in January.
Dexter had cancer in his liver. 2 weeks ago, the family was faced with yet another setback.
We were back in hospital because they thought he might have had pneumonia, so...
Dexter should be walking. It's a heartbreaking realisation for his mum, Lenice. She recently trialled a special walking frame when her little man took his first steps.
He understood what was happening. His physio and the rep were trying to still strap him in, and he just started to take the steps.
The Kiama family needs more than $10,000 to bring the specialised equipment home. It's a struggle on top of growing medical bills, but their wish is to have him walking freely by Christmas.
His walker will cost just under $4,000, and then he needs a standing frame as well to sort of build up bone density and to keep his head straight, and that's going to cost just over $6,000.
An online competition could make Dexter's dream come true. Residents can head to the SunSuper website and vote for Dexter. Natasha Apolloni, WIN News. Ambulance rescue specialists undertook a vertical training exercise at Robertson Oval in Wagga today. Rescuers climbed a near 60-metre light tower to simulate someone who may have been injured or have gained unauthorised access.
It's a long way up for training, but these new light towers are a potential hazard rescue crews need to be familiar with.
The towers are 57 metres tall, so if someone gets up there and they're not wearing the appropriate safety gear, or if they become sick or injured or anything like that, there's a rather large chance they're not going to survive any sort of fall.
Today's training simulated a rescue operation from the top of the light tower. It was an opportunity to give the new equipment a test run, as well as getting local rescue specialists familiar with the towers.
This is probably the only light towers around this area that we're going to encounter, but certainly familiarisation will make it a lot quicker and easier.
Rescue operators must complete 8 hours of vertical training each month, and while it's unlikely they'll ever conduct a real rescue from these light towers, the experience will come in handy for many other situations across the region.
We've got silos, we've got some really steep riverbanks where we've used our vertical equipment before. We've even had to abseil off the Gobber Bridge.
The rescue coordinator from the New South Wales Ambulance Service was pleased with the training exercise, confident local rescue specialists are equipped for an emergency should it arise.
Look, the rescue went fantastic. The guys are trained to a very high standard. The gear works fabulously, and it was, safe as houses coming down there today.
Tanya Dendrinos, WIN News.
Members of the Illawarra's Multicultural Society united today to help launch the Restoring Hope art exhibition as part of World Refugee Day. Close to 200 people gathered at the Wollongong Art Gallery, including students from Warrawong and Kira High Schools who showcase their talents, supported by local performer Penny Hartgerink. Last year, more than 400 people from 11 countries made the Illawarra home.
There are so many people who still struggle to speak English, and that's, having opportunity to express yourself through artwork is immense.
It will be on exhibition until August 4. Sport is next, and the Raiders centre Jarrod Croker urges his club to stand by Blake Ferguson.
Just 5 years old, lost and alone, saved by an Australian family. 26 years later, against all odds, I found it. The impossible reunion. 60 Minutes, 7:30 Sunday.
The Sullivans Volume 7 is out now.
I don't want you to go.
All the drama, romance and good times continue in this classic Australian series.
You haven't changed one bit.
We've all changed.
The Sullivans Volume 7. DVD box set is just $59.95. Order now at crawfordsdvd.com.au or free call 1800 597 996.
For a limited time, purchase a Mitsubishi Electric split system air conditioning unit and receive a bonus FPOS cash card. Choose from our range of high efficiency, ultra quiet systems for your bonus FPOS cash card with Mitsubishi Electric. Imagine that.
Introducing the new Fujitsu Lifebook range. Slimline design with remarkably light and stylish magnesium casing, powered by the latest Intel processors, including the V Pro series. For business, a Fujitsu Lifebook is the ultimate in mobility and security, with selected models featuring an integrated fingerprint sensor, anti-glare frameless display, and unlimited connectivity. The Fujitsu Ultrabook, inspired by Intel, built for mobility, style, performance. See the range in selected Harvey Norman stores now.
Go, Harvey, go!
See for free your chance to see some of the biggest artists and events from Australia and around the world for free in the Illawarra, presented exclusively by I98. Here's your chance to get along with the super talented Guy Sebastian at the WEC, June 21. Then hair-raising fun July 19 at the WEC with Jason Alexander and his hair. And September 14 at the WEC, the iconic Cyndi Lauper is at her unusual best. Feel good for free on your station, I98.
It's Still's Super Saturday Super Sale. Get super savings across the entire Still range of outdoor power tools and the chance to share in $10,000. Still Super Saturday one-day super sale this Saturday at your local Still store.
Raiders centre Jarrod Croker has urged the club to stand by troubled star Blake Ferguson. The side's depth will be tested this weekend with a number of backline players missing.
They've done it before and they're doing it again, teammates jumping to the defence of Blake Ferguson.
Blake's obviously a teammate and a good mate as well, so yeah, look, I hope the club sticks by him.
Ferguson has been stood down for at least a month after being charged for allegedly indecently assaulting a woman in a Sydney bar.
Blake's 23 years old, I mean, he can make his decisions. I'm just more disappointed at the fact that he won't be out there for the Blues next week.
The Raiders are aiming for 3 straight wins against the Tigers on Saturday. Ferguson's troubles taking a back seat for now.
I don't think it'll be too much of a distraction for us. I mean, it's all sort of been not here, I guess.
Jarrod Croker will line up at Campbelltown despite coming off early against the Panthers.
A bit of a strain, a bit of a stretch of the ligaments, just a little bit of a sharp pain, but like I said on the weekend, I was probably right to go back on if I had to.
With Ferguson and the injured Edric Lee both missing, Semi Saluma will make his debut on the wing. The Woden Valley junior confident he'll make the step up.
Not too nervous just yet, actually. I'm probably more nervous about this interview, to be honest.
It won't be all new for Saluma, who played with Croker as the pair was growing up, though that's unlikely to prepare him for a barrage of bombs from Tigers ace Benji Marshall.
Hopefully the boys can get a bit of kick pressure on him, so help me out a lot and back.
The Raiders are on the lookout for more backs. Former Titan Jordan Rapana and Reece Robinson's twin brother Travis, both rumoured to have been sounded out by the club. Luke Duffy, WIN News.
Young Dapto runner Joshua Cantwell has everything to smile about after returning from the Oceania Junior Championships in Tahiti with 2 gold medals. He won the under-18s 1500 metres and the 2000 metre steeplechase, and he has further glory in his sights.
Most 6'1" 16-year-olds play basketball, but most can't run like Josh. He realised his talent at 6 years of age after a school carnival. Since then, he's trained hard and is now an Oceania Junior champion.
Oh, it was a good experience. When I crossed the finish line first, I couldn't believe that I won.
Josh battled blustery and humid conditions in Tahiti to win both his races by more than 4 seconds. A promising talent, his coach Ian Hatfield knows greatness when he sees it. He trained Ryan Gregson, the fastest ever Australian over 1500 metres.
I can see that there's no reason why he couldn't run for Australia at the Olympics. He's got potential. They've got to come from somewhere. And his first international competition he's just had, I think it's going to be many, many more for him.
Josh trains here as part of the Illawarra Academy of Sport and benefits from their broader education programs.
No, it's not just about sport. I think it's a big package, and with the academies, very proud of what we offer in relation to the holistic development of the athlete.
At a stretch, Josh may even push for a spot at the Rio Olympics in 3 years' time.
It would be a good goal, but I don't know, I think it's a bit too close for me. Hopefully I can go for the next one after that.
No matter when we see him next, Joshua Cantwell is a name worth remembering. Rob Morrison, WIN News.
Ganman Grong Grong Matong will hope to return to the winners list when it hosts Collingully in the Riverina Football League on Sunday. The Lions are coming off a tight 5-point loss to Coolman last weekend, while the Demons will be on the hunt for 5 straight victories.
A slow start against league leader Coolman last weekend came back to haunt Ganman. It's been a habit for the Lions side in recent starts and one they've been working to fix ahead of Sunday's showdown with Collingully.
It's something we've addressed during the week and we want to get off to a good start this week against Collingully. Otherwise, we're behind the 8 ball against them, then it'll be a pretty hard way back.
After an up-and-down start to the season, the Demons have strung together 4 straight wins and they'll be looking for a better result against the Lions than when the two sides met in round 1.
Last time we played Ganman, it was pretty much goal for goal all day. They just ended up on top at the end, and if we can get a good start, that will go a long way to the overall result.
Geppert is coming off an 11-goal haul against Turvey Park last weekend, and the Lions will be looking to close him down.
He's looked at every week. He's probably one of the best forwards in the comp and kicks bags every week, so he's definitely one player we've got to look out for. Haven't made our final decision on who will play on them yet, but if we can neutralise the contest that he's at, then I think that'll give us a good chance.
But the full forward isn't too concerned about the added attention and will focus on getting the job done for the Demons.
Not sure who I'll get this week against Ganman, but look, they've got a pretty solid back line, and just whether or not they play a loose back there as well, that always makes it hard. So, look, if I can kick my 4 or 5, hopefully that'll contribute to the overall team having a win.
In other round 10 games, Griffith host Turvey Park, Narrandera take on Leeton, while the Tigers will be aiming to give Coolman its first loss of the year at Robertson Oval. Tim Robinson, WIN News.
And that is sport. Weather is next, then a huge collection of rare guitars hits Orange for a charity exhibition.
Our world has faced no greater threat than it does today.
The epic finale of the worldwide phenomenon.
These are dark times. Help me!
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 premieres Monday 8:30 on WIN.
Drop it! Bronson, big detective,
is back, along with
Detective Inspector Connolly.
And joining the team, Leonard Teal as
Homicide Senior Detective Macquarie.
That's right, Volume 2 of that great Australian cop drama, Homicide, is out now. The 7 DVD box set is just $59.95. Order now at crawfordsdvd.com.au or free call 1800 597 996.
An APT European River Cruise is a royal experience.
From the time you arrive at the airport until the time you depart the airport, they look after everything.
And everywhere you went, you had the local food, you had the local wine.
The accommodation's just mind-blowingly good.
Everything about the trip was first class.
It was just perfect.
Let APT treat you like royalty. Book a European River Cruise with Jet Set Travel now and you'll fly free. For this offer, see your Jet Set travel agent.
Turner is Britain's most acclaimed artist. At the National Gallery of Australia, Canberra, journey through Turner's remarkable career and see more than 100 paintings from the unrivaled Turner collection from Tate, London. Turner from the Tate, the making of a master. Book now at Ticketek.
It's FlexiRent bonus time at Harvey Norman. FlexiRent, the latest computer equipment. Take your pick of bonuses. The more you FlexiRent, the bigger the bonus. FlexiRent $3,000 or more. Take your pick. Bonus Canon digital SLR or a $300 gift card. FlexiRent bonus time in store now.
Go! A cool day across the state with some patchy showers. Looking at the satellite photo now, and a northwest cloud band is stretching into northern New South Wales but is not bringing any rain. Patchy cloud along the coast in moist southerly winds is producing a few showers. Skies are clearer in the south due to a high pressure ridge. To the synoptic chart, and a trough will lead to heavy showers and a cold day in southeast Queensland. A weak ridge will cause another cold morning in Victoria. A low pressure system will bring cold air, showers and strong winds to southern parts of South Australia. Tomorrow's temperatures across the state and territory: 15 in Sydney, 10 to 15 in Wollongong with some showers about. A sunny day in the capital with -2 to a top of 11 degrees. Bateman's Bay 3 to 14 with an overcast day there. A sunny day in Bega as well with a low of 1 reaching right up to 14 degrees. A cool start in Albury with a top of 13 degrees, but some sun will be about. Cloudy in Wagga Wagga with a low of 3 to a top of 13 degrees. Griffith 3 to 14 and cloudy there. Orange 0 to 9 and rainy there. And more showers in Dubbo with a low of 5 to a warmish top of 14 degrees. Finally tonight, a rare treat for guitarists across the Central West. More than 100 unusual guitars will be on display this weekend at Landers Music in Orange. The show will also benefit a charity close to the organiser's heart.
It's an incredibly rare collection of the classic, the strange, the wonderful and the unusual. A ring-around netted more than 100 instruments that will be on display this Saturday at Landers Music Store in Summer Street, Orange. The idea for the show came from several guitar players talking shop.
One day when we were standing around, we were talking about who owns what guitar and where they all are, and we thought, well, why don't we call everyone up and say, bring them in and let's put them on display.
For the uninitiated, many older guitars bear the scars of many fine moments at the fretboard.
It's part of the fun with old guitars. It's part of the character. Every guitar has a history and a story to it, and all those marks, those sort of, all the wear and all the marks of use is what sort of creates that history of that guitar.
Entry for the display is by gold coin donation and will go to charity. Visitors are in for a genuine treat.
There's old Fender guitars from the 60s. They're always very, very valuable and prized, so 64, 62, those sort of years in Fender were sort of the golden age. Gibsons from the 60s and even older things, like there's an old National from 1936, a resonator guitar.
This skateboard guitar was custom made by Aussie manufacturer Cole Clark for good mate Ben Harper. The US rocker wanted something that combines his two big loves. And who said guitar players were kooky? The show is on at Landers Retail Outlet from 11 until 4 on Saturday. Neil McLean, WIN News.
And that is WIN News for Thursday the 20th of June. Join us again tomorrow for the best hour of news in the country. I'm Melissa Jaros from the team. Thanks for watching. Good night.
This has been a WIN News presentation from WIN Television, Australia's largest commercial television network.
Tonight, a woman attacked and a parole system under fire. Out of control, a car smashes into a Maroubra bus stop. I'll be back. Julia Gillard standing tough in the face of her critics. The big dollar slide, what it means for Australian consumers, and the very private plans for the birth of the royal baby.
This is 9 News with Peter Overton.
Good evening. Serious questions are being asked tonight about our parole system after a convicted murderer was charged with a violent attempted rape at Hunters Hill. The family of the 17-year-old girl he killed is outraged, having fought to keep him behind bars. We have comprehensive coverage of this developing story. We begin with Mark Burrows.
Detectives hit Alexandra Street, Hunters Hill. Hardly a hotbed of crime. But just after 6 in the evening, a woman